What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to analyze the tape of the Kansas City Chiefs practice footage from training camp. They have officially finished the 4th day of training camp and they will now come back in 2 days with full pads on. But I do want to talk a little bit about some of the clips that we did see, specifically around the offensive linemen. As you guys know, Wanya Morris and Kingsley Sumatai will actually be competing for that left tackle position. Joe Thuney is also on the PUP list, and we've got a couple different guys rotating in and out. I want to talk about all of that. Let's go ahead and get right into it. We got about 5 or 6 clips that I want to analyze, starting with this first one. So you guys see that linebacker Drew Tranquil is going to end up coming on a blitz, and with that, Mahomes is going to throw the ball hot, and he's going to end up hitting wide receiver Justin Watson. There's a great job by Mahomes to get the ball out quickly. Now, one of the interesting things to note with this play is it is a 5-man protection, and the defense is going to put a linebacker here right in the A-gap. So essentially, the offensive linemen have to be able to process and pick this up. Now, from how I see it, the slide is going to be to the left of the screen, which means the guard here is going to have to slide down to the one technique defensive tackle there. And of course, 23 is going to be the hot read on this play. But the interesting thing to note with this, and I know certain teams do it differently, is that if a guy's blitzing to the inside of any offensive lineman, even if an offensive lineman has a guy. So in this instance, if you guys look at the left tackle, Morris has number 51, Mike Dana on this play, but Morris also looks right to number 23, Tranquil. Like you can see that helmet look directly at number 23. And you can almost see that Morris is thinking about potentially picking up number 23. And again, teams do this differently. If this is for me to decide, I'm having my tackle take the immediate threat. Now, you'll also recognize that the left guard in the place of Joe Thuney is Hunter Norsad. And you're going to see Norsad's going to actually end up stepping down to the one technique, and the one technique's going to actually drop back into coverage. Now, this is one of the interesting things with rookie offensive linemen that they got to learn. If you look here at this defensive lineman, you can pretty much tell based off his stance that he is not coming, and he's going to drop back in coverage. You can just kind of tell by the way his feet are placed, the arm is placed. It's basically placed in a way that he's going to stand right up. And you can see the left guard's going to be put into a bad spot, and he doesn't even see the linebacker coming here. Again, not a huge deal. It's not on him necessarily to get there, but it is an interesting rep nonetheless. Of course, this is meant to throw it hot to number 84. Of course, Patrick Mahomes gets the ball out. Just wanted to kind of point those guys out. You also see from the center to right tackle, you basically got the 3 starters out there. And they all do a really good job being able to just handle the 2 guys on that side. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and get into this next play. You're going to get Patrick Mahomes to step through the pocket. He's going to end up throwing a really nice pass to the wide receiver. Now, in my opinion, I think this play would actually end up as a sack, and this wouldn't actually be a completed pass. Now, of course, we're in camp. No one's going to be able to touch Patrick Mahomes or bring him down. But you guys keep an eye on the left guard. Once again, backup Hunter Norsad. He's going to end up getting swam right over the top by Tershawn Wharton, who does a really, really nice job with the hezzy move. And then he swims right over the top. To me, this is a really nice move by the defensive tackle. Look at him set this up. He's going to fake this to the inside right there. That fake is going to make the rookie offensive lineman kind of lunge. Left hand lands on the shoulder pad. Right arm comes right over the top. And with that, I think Wharton ends up sacking the quarterback on this one. But of course, you're not going to touch the quarterback. Patrick Mahomes steps up, gets the pass off. Wanya Morris also does not do a great job on this play. Now, we also know that Wanya Morris and Kingsley Sumatai are competing out there, and those 2 guys have been rotating in and out. Sumatai has had some good reps that I've seen. Wanya Morris, on the other hand, has not had some reps. Or at least I've seen a ton of losing reps. Wanya Morris, for me, is the front runner for the job, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. Honestly, looking at some of these snaps, things don't look great. And it's just like the timing, right? The timing of the hands. He ends up getting chopped. And I understand, there's no pads out there, and I know that could make a difference. But like hand placement's something that pads don't make a difference, right? Honestly, it might even be more difficult with pads on. Plus, in the offseason, these guys aren't practicing with pads on, right? So to me, this is an interesting play here because Mike Dana just straight up chops Wanya Morris. And the chop here is going to also turn into a rip move. And Wanya Morris here is going to basically hold the defensive end. The defensive end, to me, once again, would theoretically get to the quarterback. Again, I know Patrick Mahomes gets the ball out. I'm not 100% sure if Patrick Mahomes would actually be able to get the ball out, right? Because I think 2 guys basically get there at the same time. So you got to do a better job from the left guard spot as well as the left tackle spot. Morris has to do a better job with the hand placement, the timing, the punch. Not a huge deal. Again, pads come on in 2 days, and we'll definitely reevaluate these guys. Probably in 5 days from now when we have enough clips to kind of analyze. And then, of course, On the other side, if you guys keep an eye on right guard Trey Smith, he's going to do a great job with the hand placement. Lands perfectly to the inside. To me, it's a really, really nice rep. He does get bull rushed a little bit. He could anchor a little bit better, but that is a really good defensive tackle he's going up against. And I love the hand placement, right? To be able to get your hands to the inside of Chris Jones, to me, just a really nice job. And this is why, in my opinion, the Chiefs have one of the best interior offense lines in the NFL. I mean, when you get to go up against Chris Jones, when you get to go up against guys like Derek Nottie and some of the other guys that the Chiefs have had over the past couple of seasons, it's going to make you better as a football team. So really, really nice rep here by the right guard. Love the hand placement. Right tackle going up against the defensive end here. Not a great job, but it's not necessarily a losing rep because he does do a nice job recovering. Pretty nice job with the hand placement. I think George Karlaftis is one of the most underrated defense linemen in the NFL. I think he's a very, very good football player. And, you know, when you look at top 10 to 15 lists in the NFL, 99% of them don't give this guy credit. But I think this is the year that he's going to really, really break out and end up becoming a household name around the NFL. So pretty interesting rep. Let's go ahead and get into the next play. Alrighty, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get into the next play here. This play starts, you know, right after the ball snap. This is actually that viral play that everybody's talking about, in which the defensive end, George Karlaftis, hits Kadarius Toney. And then obviously the whole Travis Kelce thing kind of happens. We don't really care about that, though. Let's just be honest. It doesn't matter. But what we do care about is getting a rep of Kingsley Sumac-Tai, where he does a really, really nice job with the hands. I mean, to me, this is perfect. He does a really nice job getting both hands right on number 97. You're going to see the feet as well as he makes contact really just get right back in front. And he does a good job sticking to the defensive end on this one. Now, of course, that defensive end also is second-year defensive lineman out of, I believe it was Kansas, where he came from. It had been Kansas State. In Felix Unadaiki Usama. But I do like the hand placement here by him. But more than that, I see the right tackle on this play is Lucas Niang. Obviously, we had gotten the report that he was also taking some snaps at right tackle. And I want to just apologize if I'm butchering these guys' names. You guys got to understand, I'm not a Kansas City Chiefs fan. At heart, so I don't follow the team as closely. I do watch their tape, obviously, with some of these guys. And maybe I should take the time to really learn the pronunciation of these names. But anyways, Lucas Niang, right tackle, does a really good job using independent hands. I love how he's going to first and foremost put the right hand into George Karlaftis, and then he's going to bring the left hand afterwards. So using independent hands is a big part of offensive linemen having success. You know, if you're a tackle, guard, whatever it is, independent hands is the way to win. Now, of course, not sure if Niang is going to end up being the backup tackle. If he'll play a little bit of guard, don't really know. But as a backup tackle, it's a really, really good football player. And he's developed over the last couple of years. I think he might have taken some snaps last year as well. But I think that was at guard. Don't quote me on that. And he looked pretty good. This right here is one of the reasons why this guy looks pretty good, right? You get independent hands like that. This is perfect. Hand placement, timing, absolutely beautiful. Love how he lands. And he wins that rep right there. The guy does not get close at all to Patrick Mahomes. Karlaftis ends up just kind of giving up on the play because Niang does a great job with recovering, staying right in front of it. It's a really, really nice rep. Let's go ahead and get into the next play. You're going to get another one here. If you guys keep an eye on the right guard, he's going to do a really nice job being able to pass off the defensive line game. He's going to keep his head up. He's going to end up picking up the linebacker, Nick Bolton, who's coming on the defensive line game. Just a really nice job here by the right guard and Trey Smith. Great job with the hands. Pushes off the defensive end, pushes him into the center, comes back around, takes number 32, and ultimately shuts it down. That's a really, really nice rep right there. Let's look at the left tackle, Wanya Morris. To me, got to do a better job. You're going to see that initially he does a pretty good job, but he does also end up getting tossed a little late at the end of this. Mike Dana is going to end up with the hands to the inside. He's going to be able to kind of use that long arm technique, although it's not really a long arm, but he does get the hands attached to Wanya Morris, and that left arm right there throws the tackle. Now, it does look like he does a pretty good job recovering. It looks like he does a pretty good job keeping the hands to the inside chest, but it is hard to see. You got a couple of guys that kind of get in the way right there. But initially, I don't like that he gets controlled the way he does here. And again, I'm on record saying that I think Morris is the one that's going to ultimately win the job. But I need him to really step up when the pads come on in a couple of days from now. It's a pretty nice rep overall by the offensive line. You do have a couple of different guys. That's obviously not going to be the starting left guard. Pretty nice job from the interior guys. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. And then, of course, finally, you got a really, really nice pass from Patrick Mahomes to Rashee Rice. Really nice job with the adjustment in the air by the wide receiver, and he catches it, of course. Let's talk about the offensive line on this one. Interestingly, you got Lucas Young at guard on this one. So, that's kind of interesting to me. Obviously, Joe Tooney was hurt, and Young ended up coming in and taking some snaps at that position, as did the rookie. And a couple other guys I think were also kind of rotating in. He does a pretty nice job passing off the defensive tackle to Wanya Morris. It's a good job recognizing that the defensive end here, number 51, is going to drop off. So as soon as 51 drops off, you're going to get that pass off. And I like the awareness to be able to get the eyes back to the inside, to make sure that if there's any other threat, maybe if the center or right guard are getting pushed back, he can ultimately come in there and potentially help. You'll also see that Denrick Prince, the running back number 34, does a really nice job with the blitz pickup. Just a really, really nice job getting the hands to that linebacker. Of course, you do got to keep in mind, there's no pads. So I think some guys might not go as fast or as hard as other guys. But he does a good job with being able to get in there, get his nose in there, and try to pick up the linebacker. The linebacker does do a pretty good job shedding him to the side a little bit towards the end of this. But that's still a good job being able to slow down a guy that's basically coming full speed at you. And, you're not able to go full speed, right? You got to kind of just stand there and take the hit. But that's a pretty nice job by the running back. You see Juwan Taylor here once again, timing the snap, man. His snap timing is incredible. The way Juwan Taylor gets out of his stance, it's absolutely incredible. It's something that I respect a ton. I always say this, as an offensive tackle, if you want to have success in the NFL, especially in pass pro, this right here will allow you to go a long way. This right here will allow you to have success. Just getting out of your stance faster than everybody else. I know people complain about him saying he gets out of his stance a little too early. He might be false starting. I don't necessarily agree with that, but some people do kind of complain at times. Really not a big deal. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, please consider subscribing. Subscribe if you guys are not subscribed. We will be covering the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line and defensive linemen this season. And we'll definitely be covering the battle at left tackle over preseason. I think that's going to be one of the interesting things to kind of keep an eye on. So if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe. And I will see you guys next time with another video.